Alright, coming in. Alright, we are back after a long hiatus. The Link Cable Gaming Podcast is back with episode 38 after a long summer of gaming, news, excitement, and everything else.
Yeah.
My name is Kevin. I'm back as one of your hosts. Alex, co-host.
Hello.
And
Hello.
other co-hosts, Zahi. The three of us
Hello,
make
everyone.
up the crew tonight. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. Missing the podcast.
Yeah. Say like it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back on the air. I had to shave for this a little. I had to clean this up because I was
Is that what that is?
living like a wild man, waiting to get back on air. So.
Yeah, like, oh, people are going to see me again.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's been
hiding here in my game room.
It's been an exciting summer. I'm got lots to talk about. I'm sure you do. So I guess we can all just jump right in it and kind of quickly let's review the last. I think the last episode was probably April. I think it was what it was. Maybe
that's right.
It was around then.
Somewhere around there. Maybe even before. So maybe we just start throwing stuff out there of what came out over the last several months game wise. Talk about who's played what we've done, and just kind of go from there. So I'm gonna pull up this list that I just keep. Wait, I just keep deleting it by accident. Oh, I see, because it's called Hitman 3 Link. I see, that's one of the games. All right, so I'm
I
gonna
only want to talk about Hitman 3. It's the only thing
which came out in January, and I already talked about it. So over the last few months, we missed E3, and we've done what's the other game show that happened?
The Sony show.
There's a couple actually.
There was the PlayStation Showcase. There was Summer Games Fest.
Gamescom.
Gamescom.
That's what it is in Germany, right? Isn't it?
And Germany, yeah. And
so
then,
there's been a Nintendo Directs. There's been a lot of stuff coming out, new surprises. So
yes.
I'm gonna scroll through some games here, just of some of the top games that were said to have come out that we may or may not have talked about, and we'll just. If you hear something and you want to shout and scream about it, go for it. So
just
first,
shout and scream, right into our listeners' ears.
Right.
Peek those
So
mics.
first, a listen to this article is Scarlet Nexus. So this was a game I remember seeing that
I want to talk about this.
Okay, I didn't have any big thoughts about it when I saw it at E3, but it sounds like Alex does. So did you play this?
Oh, I did play Scarlet Nexus. It's amazing.
Really?
It is
actually
so good.
Okay, so I'm very glad you say this because I just returned a game on GameFly because I started doing that again, and I don't have anything in order next, so I'm adding that to my list right now. So
yeah, get it.
Smart.
Get Scarlet Nexus. It's so good. So it's funny. You got the fancy list. You're like, well, fancy. I got it on the computer thing. I got it on like Post-it, like crumpled up Post-it is where I wrote all my stuff. And like one of the first ones on here was like, I gotta talk about Scarlet Nexus. So this game. It's developed by Bandai Namco. It's developed by the team that did Code Vein, but it's not quite like Code Vein. Code Vein was more of like a Soulsborne-ish type thing. Scarlet Nexus is more of a Devil May Cry type thing, where you're going through this world and these monsters come up and you're fighting them and you got your combos and everything. But what like. So the two things things that I really liked about this game was that it has a party system. So it's not like Devil May Cry in the sense where you're just like Dante going out and fighting monsters. It's like an RPG where you have your party, you equip them, you can play as them if you want.
Okay.
They each have their own abilities, so there's like the depth in the combat system is like it's unreal. It is like a really seriously deep combat system. And there's 2 campaigns on top of that, so you can play, like, there's 2, they both kind of tell the same story. Although they both kind of tell the same story, just from different perspectives.
Like a Nier style of game? Like Nier Automata?
I haven't played Nier, so I can't say if that's
Oh my god!
Ooh, wow, I'm really surprised about that. I didn't think I knew that.
Okay.
No, I haven't played Nier. I have a weird reason why I haven't played Nier, but I can mention that after. It's not that important. Sorry, where was I? Oh yeah, so you have 2 kind of groups of characters. So depending on how you want to play, you can change your play style based on if you pick I forget their names, but the boy or the girl character. And yeah, it's this really like it's post-apocalyptic. but like not so much the world is in ruin, but the world has rebuilt, but it's like there's a post-apocalyptic vibe to it all. It's very anime, so I like it, where it's got like that really like gorgeous anime art style, which I'm playing it on Series X, or I played it on Series X, and like it looks like an anime come to life. Like it looks so good. And yeah, like it's if I had to describe it, I just realized I had my hand, like for the people watching, I've got like my hands up like this the whole time. It's
really grabbing that Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's the
French people talk with their hands, everyone.
Yes.
Grab on.
French people like me, we talk with our hands, and I don't have anything to do with them, so I'll just put them down for now. But yeah, it's kind of like, if I had to describe it, it's like Devil May Cry met Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Sick.
Because it's got that party style thing that Xenoblade X does, where you can kind of just completely mix and match everything, and the combat just kind of flows. But the combat is Devil May Cry combo based and everything. So yeah, I'm so happy you started the show off with Scarlet Nexus, because it might be my game of the year, like my personal game of the year.
That was very unexpected.
It is so incredibly good. You start like it's only downhill from here. Like you started with the best game of the year. So yeah, no, Scarlet Nexus is incredible. Please, please play it. It's so good. It's so good. Don't wait. I see it like online. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'll just wait for it to hit Game Pass." Just get it. It's so good. Don't wait.
Yeah. So this came out in June 24th of this year. So this is decently recent. It's not that old. Yeah, I did not know that game was that impressive. I thought it was like a...
It's so good.
I thought you were going to say, it was so much better than I thought it would be. It was okay, I had fun, because that's what I thought.
I think, it might be gone now, but I think there's a demo on PS5 and Series X.
Well,
if you're on the fence, you can try it.
I just put it to the top of my list in GameFly because I'm running out of things to try that I don't own already.
Oh,
and I went with Xbox too because my PS5 is full, and I don't want to uninstall anything else.
That PS5 firmware update, oh my goodness, I can't deal with it. Especially on digital, like as a digital console, it's even worse, man. Even worse.
God, we're gonna talk about that
the
later.
Xbox Live.
Okay, so moving on, we got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I bought this day one, couldn't wait to play it, haven't opened it. Classic Kevin. I really want to play it, but I keep getting pulled into different directions to play other things. And like I mentioned a little earlier, I started up GameFly again, which I don't know if you guys have that in Canada or not.
No, we don't.
No. So do you know what GameFly is?
Yeah, I'm aware of it, but
So it's like a rental service. I have like a list. I have 2 games at a time, and they just send me like an envelope with the disc in it, and then I play the game or whatnot. So I just sent back Resident Evil Village, or Resident Evil 8. I just finished that 2 days ago. So I sent that back, and I didn't have anything on my queue, so I just added Scarlet Nexus. So I'll be getting that now, hopefully in the next 2 days. Did anybody play Ratchet and Clank?
I didn't get a chance to know. When Ratchet and Clank came out, I had lent my PS5 to one of my friends just because I wasn't really even playing it too much.
Who owns a PS5?
Yeah.
That friend better be like your bestest friend.
Yeah.
He just had a baby, and he was stuck at home, and he was like going a bit crazy from no games. He's like, so I was like, yo, I have a surprise for you. Try out the PS5 for like a month or two. So like June, July.
You're gonna win the Nobel Peace Prize.
I wouldn't even give that to my wife for a weekend if I wasn't there. I don't know. That's my baby. That thing breaks. I know I ain't getting a new one for forever. So.
It's good times. Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to actually pick up Ratchet and Clank.
Okay. Well, I haven't yet either, so we'll have to revisit that later. But I know I'm gonna like it regardless.
I heard it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. All right, so we'll come back to that game another week when we played it. Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Very tempted to play that game. Very tempted. Love the Mass Effect franchise. One of my favorite franchises in gaming. BioWare made a huge comeback. But I'll be honest, after beating all the games and Andromeda and playing Mass Effect like start to finish, with every kind of Shepard possible, with nothing new added to the games, there was no reason for me to replay it again. I think it was a great idea that it launched. It got incredible reviews. It was the whole collection. The only thing missing from it was one expansion or one DLC from Mass Effect 1. This, oh man, I wish it wasn't escaping my mind, but it was like the space station one. I think it was where's like the casino. It was like the Batarian one. Yeah, I played that back on the original 360. But that's the thing with a lot of times with like the remakes and remasters. If you've already played the game start to finish, like the incentive to go back in. So, great game. Did not no interest actually.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say this is probably a bad thing to say like in our first podcast back, especially since I've already said like I haven't played Nier. I've never played a Mass Effect game. It's still
Alex, the Legendary Edition.
Yeah, that's right up your alley.
It is.
It was in reach. I have Mass Effect Trilogy. Like I own it.
Maybe.
Go get Legendary Edition. You want the niceness.
This is nice.
It's not as nice. Come on, 4K baby.
No. I don't have a 4K, but I don't have a 4K monitor. What am I going like? Ooh, wow! Look at the 4K. Oh well.
I don't know. Yeah, this came back out in May already. I can't believe it was that long ago.
Yeah.
I picked it up as well on a Best Buy sale. I had an unfortunate incident where a TV died in my house, so I had to buy a new TV, and got a ton of like rewards points. So I had like $125 of gift cards to Best Buy. So I ended up getting this for free. So I haven't played it yet, but I will one day. Okay,
have
next.
You ever played Mass Effect?
No, I played Mass Effect before, but I want to play them again because I sped through them when I was in college. Like, I didn't really spend much time. I was just like, okay, these people are dying. I don't care. Let's get this over with. As long as Mordian dies, or Morden, whatever his name is. He's my favorite. Okay, Mass Effect. Oh shit! I just read that. Scrolling down.
Oh, another
Mass Effect again. It's here. Resident Evil.
Will be back.
Resident Evil Village. This came out not too long ago either. I think this was also. Was this April or May?
This was March.
March.
This is March. Or
May.
Well, I say that. I say that with tons of confidence that I don't know.
May 7th of 2021.
It came out in a month that started with the letter M.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
I didn't. I played the demo.
I played the demo a little bit. I didn't play the whole demo, but I did just get it from GameFly about.
Right.
I think I got it in middle of July, and it took me up until I beat it Friday night this past weekend. And boy, was it a wild ride. I loved this game. It was so good. It basically takes Resident Evil 7 and just adds a little bit more. Not a ton more, but a little bit more. Clears up the story a little bit, so it makes a little more sense than what I was doing at the end of 7, scratching my head. But it's hard to talk about it too much because it is a very spoiler-type game. But it was good. I really enjoyed the world, the environment, the characters. It felt almost like you were playing in a TV show, the way that the areas are put out. It's almost like different seasons. It feels really good. It was a good game. Anybody else play that? Zahi said you didn't get a chance. Alex, what about you?
Played the demo.
Yeah, you played the demo.
Yeah. I played it a bit. I haven't finished it yet, so please no spoilers, but I haven't finished it yet. I really like it. It's the kind of game that I'm like, I keep playing. I want to sit down and just like eat it all up. I just haven't had a lot of time to sit down with it specifically. Mostly just, honestly, just my game time has been caught up on like the billion indie games I've got going on the fly right now. But I really like it. I think with Resident Evil, though, I kind of hope this is the last of their first-person ones for a bit. I kind of want them to do something new for 9, or like maybe even go back to what they used to do.
I feel like they're going to focus on remakes for a while. I don't even know if they're going to be touching 9 for quite a while.
Well, we'll get to that because it's in the Nvidia discussion. But it's I like Village a lot. I mean, like you said, like the story is tighter than 7. It makes more sense than 7 and answers a lot. Answers so much of like after 7, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
The last half hour of that game, I was like, what the hell? Like, I did not love it.
Yeah, but 8 or Village, or like Roman numeral Illage, whatever they call it, is it's good. I like it a lot. I haven't sat down and devoured it yet.
It's a wild ride. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I have 2 quick questions about that game, and specifically since Kevin, you beat it, and Alex, you're on the way to beating it. We had this conversation way back about Village, about that every few years Resident Evil as a concept, game wise, they kind of change up the formula a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think now that Village is out and it's been a while, there will be a Resident Evil 9 in the same genre format, or do you think that the next Resident Evil game, whatever it is gonna essentially be a new kind of iteration of the Resident
It's
Evil
hard.
franchise?
Yeah, is it part of is like a continuation of the story kind of, and is it going to be kind of the same thing? It's
Yeah.
hard to answer without spoiling stuff. So I will leave that up to you and Alex and the viewers to finish Resident Evil Village to find out, because it is very tough to answer that.
If history tells me, and this is just based on what's come before, so I have no idea what's coming up next, but they tend to do the games in pairs of 3 or in triples, which are best. So they'll do like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 are all tank control style. 4, 5, and 6 are the over-the-shoulder look, and then 7 and 8 have been the first person. So history would tell you that 9 would be first person, but let's see.
So yeah, good game. Okay, up next, believe it or not, Outriders came out this year, and I'm not sure we had talked about this since we were last on the air, and if we were able to talk about it, like actually playing it. So I remember it came out in April.
Oh yeah.
So
right before we took our hiatus, I did the demo on the Series X, and it was 30 frames a second. It looked like hot garbage. I was playing. I was like this. No, I played it on PlayStation 5 actually, and on PS5 it was the ugliest, generic-y lookingest game I have ever played in my entire life. Fast forward to day one release on Series X, and I left the PS5 behind and jumped onto the Series X. Aside from initial like day one bugs and stuff that got patched pretty quick, a crazy fun game. Beat it the whole way through. I actually beat it co-op with one of my best buddies, John. And we could not stop laughing at how over the top and bad the plot was.
Yeah, it's a little nuts.
Just
ridiculous.
It was so ridiculous, and so many times I was just like, this is the most, like, it was the same developers as Bulletstorm. And if anyone who's played Bulletstorm will know that People Can Fly make some wild games, but the combat and the game mechanics, I wish there was something more to play in that game, because man oh man, each of the 4 classes was a joy to play. They're also unique and fun, but once you beat the campaign and do some end level stuff, there isn't really much to like do.
Yeah, so I played through it and finished it.
Nice.
On Monday nights, I have like a little game night with 2 of my friends, and we try to find co-op games, whatever. So we played this game for almost 3 months, going through the campaign. It's decently long. It's fun, but it's basically a good game to sit and talk to your friends and play, and pretend the story doesn't matter, and just get guns, and then when you're done, you uninstall it, and that's it. So it was a good game. Not much of a game of the year type of game, but this is like the perfect Game Pass game for me.
Yeah,
I didn't have to pay anything extra. I had a good time with it. I enjoyed playing it. Yeah, so it wasn't bad, but I'm excited to see a sequel, because I think they can fix a lot of the stuff and make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Alex, did you have any comments on Outriders?
I have absolutely nothing to say on Outriders. If you asked me to describe what it was, I'd be like, is it a racing game? I have no idea. It's just not my jam. Yeah. I'm happy you guys have enjoyed it. It's just not for me.
It's a very good like 6 or 7, like on a 1 to 10 scale. Like that's just kind of a quick it was okay. I'd play it.
I had fun.
Okay. Next up, we're gonna try to pass through some of these pretty quick, so we'll just kind of give a yay or nay as we go through it. Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I can talk about that one.
This one was not for me, so yeah, if you have a quick couple seconds to say something about it.
Cool. I'll talk about Monster Hunter Rise. It's on my list here.
Oh, there you go.
So it's a game. So Monster Hunter, I've never really played Monster Hunter. I played 3 back on the Wii when it came out like 10 years ago, because it was such a hype game. I got caught up in the hype, and then I played it and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this is so, I'm so just not into this right now. So I brought it back. I was like, it's very rare. Like, look behind me. It's very rare that I'll bring a game back to the store, like, give me my money back. But I didn't hold on to that one. But then again, same thing happened. I got caught up in the hype for Rise, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this game! It's like, it's gonna like push the Switch. It's like, it's crazy. You got to get into it." I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll give it a shot. And I played for about. It's just gonna sound bad because I know you're supposed to put like thousands of hours into Monster Hunter. I've played for about 20 hours, and I feel like I had fun, but I don't necessarily want to play it anymore. It's fine. It's good. Like, it's one of those games that Monster Hunter fans, I think, have enjoyed. I kind of finished everything I felt like doing with it, and I don't really want to go back. I got all the amiibo for it, which is
how I felt with the demo. I played the demo, and I was like, that was all I needed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't for me.
I will say, though, it is an impressively good-looking game on the Switch.
Really?
Like, it looks... It looks head and shoulders above anything else. It runs on the RE engine, which is actually impressive that they got that going on the Switch. But yeah, it looks head and shoulders above most other Switch games. But other than that, I was like, yeah, this was fun. And my brother, who is a huge Monster Hunter fan,
huge. I was just waiting for you to bring it up.
He says it's too streamlined. He says it's not like, he wishes there was more meat on the bone, basically. But I wanted to talk about it because it's kind of like, it's a game I feel like I've finished. I don't really want to go back. I keep getting like the PR emails or like, we added this, we added that. I'm like, that's cool. You guys are having fun.
Yeah, not for me either. Okay, next up we have, I'm going to skip the list, talk about Pokemon Snap, the new Pokemon Snap.
You guys have to let me know how you found it.
I have not played it.
Neither have I.
Yeah. So, okay.
There's something... Well, I will say, though, for new Pokemon Snap, I know they've added more content, like free DLC to it, which is really good. Because when it came out and people, like, the reviews started coming out and they're like, this game is 3 hours long, I was like, I am not spending full price on a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And, like, the first people forget, like, nostalgia glasses on, the first Pokemon Snap is only, like, half an hour long to an hour long. It's not very big.
Yeah.
But, like, I was like, no, I'm not putting that in. But they've added more stuff, so...
Yeah, and I have a feeling they might add a little bit more still, so it's something fun. I'll play it, just not yet. Mario Golf was another game that came out in this long hiatus. I did get it. I have played it a little bit, but it has been a very little sliver of time. It's kind of my lunch break game I'll play on my Switch next to my desk while I'm working. So I play a little bit, not too much, but...
How is I haven't played it, but I was curious. How is the Super Golf mode? Is that fun?
I have not tried that. I've just done like the quick where you get in and just kind of shoot some balls, and then like literally I play for like 15-minute increments, not even that long. So it's exactly what you'd expect. It's a Mario Golf game. I don't think it's anything new. Isn't that crazy? And anything that was there that's not there, I don't think is that crazy either. So it's okay. Biomutant. That was another game that came out.
Finally came out.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I was really interested in that game, but my interest really quickly waned.
You got really quiet too. I can barely hear you.
I was really interested in Biomutant, but I don't know
what happened to his sound? Can you hear him? Because I can't.
I can hear him. I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear Zai. Yeah, just fine.
I can see his mouth moving, but I can't hear him.
Oh.
Kevin, make me out. Hello.
Well, I can't hear him, so I will just say something about Biomutant, because I think he might have said something about it. He's shaking his head.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, great. Alright, try again, Zahi. Try talking one more time.
Hold on.
I can hear, but it's like he's doing
There we go. Any better?
No.
It's so weird. I hear you loud and clear, man. I don't know what Kevin's problem is. I can hear you loud and clear.
And I can hear Kevin.
Huh.
Let me check the audio on the stream. I won't say anything for a bit. I'm just checking.
Okay, well then while you check that, I'll talk about this. So Biomutant is a game, actually the first game I got from GameFly, and when I started it up again, started playing it, and I go, this is a game I really like, and I want to sink some more time into, but I do not have the time because I had a lot going on this summer. So I ended up buying it from GameFly, and I haven't played too much of it. That is one thing that GameFly does, is if you go to buy it, they give you like 15% off, 20% off the used price already. And then every month I get $5 like a rewards card points to buy games that I rent. So I need to go back to it and play, but I really liked it. It was pretty cool. I know it got mixed reviews, but the customization was pretty neat. Sahi, try talking again.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you. You're just quiet. How does he sound on the stream, Alex?
Real quiet on the stream.
Yeah.
If you go into your settings, check the input sensitivity. That's all I can think of. But
okay.
I can hear you fine, so I have no idea what's going on.
It's weird. It's just showing up that way on there.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Me and Zayil chat.
So okay, yeah, that was.
Maybe it's my output volume. How's that? Any better?
It's still real quiet.
Can you hear me any better now?
Try to drop the call and come back. It'll screw up our picture for a little bit, but the audio should be better. Sorry, everybody listening. It's been a while since we did a podcast.
Hold on. Is it any better now?
Nope.
Yeah,
just exit and come back.
Okay.
All right, so we'll keep moving on. The next big game, and I'm sure we're missing some, but we got to move on soon anyways, the last one I got here is Psychonauts 2. Is a game that I would like to play, just have never gotten to it yet. It's only been out for a little bit.
So good. I'm like playing Psychonauts right now, and it is just I'm having so much fun. Alex, did you ever play the old Psychonauts back?
I have not played Psychonauts.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's I haven't played the first or the second. It's a shame of mine. I feel like they're the kind of games I would absolutely I love that kind of 3D platformer kind of I haven't. It's one of those, like, I don't have an Xbox, like an OG Xbox, and I know there's other ways to play it, but no, I've never played Psychonauts either or.
That's definitely a game you should have. I wish you got back into. I played the original Psychonauts on the Xbox. It's a Tim Schafer game. It's definitely a weird game, but I have something I kind of don't like about Psychonauts 2, and I know it's kind of weird to say, but the first game was like, you like mind control people, and it's like this organization teaching these little kids to like, control people's like minds and stuff. And it's kind of like essentially like harmless fun. It was meant to be like you don't think about it too much, and it's just like you deep dive. But what the sequel kind of does instead is that it makes it like, I don't know, it gets like the system is all we have to find out, maybe hacking into people's brains isn't like the best thing, and it kind of like, it's matured, you know what I mean? Like, maybe doing the things we're doing as children and making them be able to jump into people's minds, it kind of made me lose that like disconnect of it being like kind of a game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel, and it was a strange feeling. I don't know. I feel like they got kind of serious, and it's like I wish they kept that kind of like
silliness in it.
The silliness in it, it was. I feels like it wasn't supposed to be so heavy on the like. You weren't really meant to think about it, like, it's not like this huge invasion of privacy that the second game kind of now makes it out to be, and you have to like solve the world's problems because of it. It's like it's getting too real,
Yeah.
Those are but I'm really loving it right now. I'm trying to finish it.
Kevin, I need to know, did you hear anything of what Zai just said?
Not really.
Good.
Okay.
Leave and come back.
Like a little, leave and come back, and I'm going to transition us. But before we do, I did miss, there's 2 more games that the article that was written didn't list because it came out before they did. But the last couple of weeks, Deathloop came out, which I think was just last Friday, I think it was, or Thursday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's pretty recent. And so did Tales of Arise. Those are 2 games I actually picked up both of them. I've had them on pre-order, and I have not played either of them. But I want to play Deathloop, but I'm trying to finish games on my PS5 so I can uninstall another game, and I just need the space to install it. So hopefully I'm going to finish up Control, which is a game I have fully downloaded on the PS5. I'm almost done with that, and then I'll try Deathloop out. But I keep buying games for my Xbox because I have a lot more storage on there. They're a little more generous.
You bought Deathloop? Have you tried it at all?
I don't know what you're saying. You're quieter. Let me try to adjust your volume on here and just see if I can just turn it up all the way. Alright, try that.
I was gonna say, you bought Deathloop?
Okay, I can hear you a little bit. Yeah, I did buy it. I pre-ordered it and I got it. I was on the fence. That was the last of my reward money that I used to buy that game. So I got that and Tales of Arise and then Mass Effect. So, but I'm pretty happy with my choices I got. I haven't played any of them, but I will enjoy it. Oh, I got I'll show you the last little part. I got lucky to pick up this guy. Ooh.
Hey,
with a giant glare.
Very cool.
That was another big release this summer. That was Skyward Sword, the HD remake. Another game I have purchased but yet to play. But I will get to that. Have any of you played either Tales of Arise or Deathloop at all?
I played the Tales of Arise beta.
Okay, that's pretty good. The demo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played it a little bit. It was pretty fun. I really liked it. I've only played one Tales game, so I can't say I love the series, but I loved the one game I played. So I'm excited to get into this one.
Which one?
Tales of Vesperia.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I played the Switch remake of it, and boy, was it good.
Oh, wow, yeah?
So good. It was such a good Switch game. The story is incredible. That was probably one of the last games I played before we went on our hiatus, actually. But all right, so let's move on to the next big story here. And
can I give one shout out?
Sure,
I don't want to talk about this game. I just want to say, super duper big shout out to Axiom Verge 2. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's great. Play.
Yeah, I forgot about that was out too. That was like a secret release too, wasn't it? Like they were
like,
oh, it's out today. Go play.
yeah, it was a shadow drop. They were just like. It was during, I think, an Indies presentation or something. They were just like, "An Axiom Verge 2 out now," and I was like, "Where's my Switch?"
Drop what you're doing.
So yeah, I don't want to talk about it a whole lot, but yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Actually, can I give one last shout out?
Sure.
One last shout out. This is the last one. I don't know if I haven't gotten a chance to play it. However, I am. I've been bombarded by all my friends who have been letting me know. But if anyone here is ever played Undertale by Toby Fox, the new game, his new game Deltarune, which is more of a spiritual sequel to Undertale, just got the second chapter released, and I haven't gotten a chance to play it, and I don't want to let any spoilers get out there, but I am trying to hold it together this weekend because I want to play a few more things before I get into Deltarune. So by next podcast, I'll have it completely be in like one sitting.
I'll ask you about that then. How was it?
Oh my god, I'm holding my breath, man. I just want to play that game so badly. It's incredible. So next week we bring up Deltarune Chapter 2. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, Kevin, kind of weird. Kind of like it's a weird indie game. Have you ever played Undertale?
I think I played it for like 2 minutes, and I was a little like, it might be a little weird for me, but
Undertale, you just need to. Undertale's a really cool concept of a game. It's like, why are you fighting monsters when you can just be friends with them and talk to them? And essentially, you can like persuasively not fight anything. You can talk everything down, and that's one of the core concepts of the game, is that there's a lot of consequences to objectively just outright killing the creatures you come across.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I hear it's very popular with fans of Earthbound. If you like if you like the Mother series, then it's kind of Because it's inspired by that. It's kind of.
It's extremely inspired by the Mother series. And just as a last note to it, but that doesn't mean that's the only way to play the game is to like be gentle and talk everything down. The game also, while it doesn't encourage you to do it and it actively tells you you're a monster, you can kill everything in the game and leave the game a barren, desolate wasteland of broken dreams. It's fantastic.
So sweet.
Oh man, it goes from an extremely sweet, heartwarming game to you are a cold, terrible monster of a person. You're not even human. Even the monsters don't act like you. It's rough on the emotions, but it's a good game. You should check it out.
I think I do have it, so maybe I will check it out, because it is something that everybody always talks about, and I just never actually spent the time.
Love me some Undertale.
All right, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna put my other tab back up,
and we're gonna stay behind.
Yeah. So the big news story over the last few weeks, which is still pretty relevant today because more stuff keeps coming out, is a huge list from Nvidia for their GeForce Now streaming, and just a ton of random, let's just say, titles. I don't even know if they're games or just names of games and titles of games. Like, tons of them are being leaked all over the place, and nobody can tell what's true, what's not true. Yeah.
Awful.
So this is kind of giving us either one, there's a lot of games that are exclusive to consoles that are listed here, which means they could be coming to PC, which is one thing that people are excited about. Another thing is there's games that are not announced yet that people are excited for, like sequels. And another thing, there's games that are announced that we never thought would be announced at all or being shown on here. So I have the full list. I'm just going to kind of read through some things, and I don't know if you guys have the list pulled up too. You can kind of shout it out.
Yeah.
So they have them listed here by company. So Sony's up first. They have Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Edition, which is basically Uncharted games coming to PC, which is pretty big news.
But they've confirmed that, didn't they?
That was confirmed.
Yep, they did. They did that right at this, because I think this came out a couple days before, or maybe it was after the leak, that they announced that. So that was.
It was after the leak.
Was it after? Okay.
Yeah,
because that was in their Sony thing they just did, like a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, about a week or two ago, the Sony show happened and they announced Drake's Legacy, and then the leak happened.
Okay, so they have that God of War, which they have not announced that for PC yet. I know that for sure. So that's got some people excited because a lot of people who do not have a console and play PC only would love to play that. Returnal, that's kind of big news because that's stuck on PS5 right now.
I want to play Returnal so bad.
Yeah, the Demon Souls remake. Returnal's another game that came out pretty recently. I don't know if we were on air for that or not. The Demon Souls remake, Ratchet & Clank is just listed, but no specific, just says Ratchet & Clank. Sackboy, Ghost of Tsushima, and that was all from Sony. There's a lot of people saying that they were hoping to see Bloodborne leaked on there because everybody wants to play that more, except for me.
The Sony games of this leak, can I say, like, this leak gets a lot better. I am 0% surprised that Sony games are going to come to PC, because they already started coming to PC.
Right.
Like, we already got, like,
Horizon.
Days Gone, Horizon, now Uncharted. Like, I was like,
I love
when I was reading this leak, I kind of scrolled past the PC,
the
Sony games. I kind of scrolled past the Sony games because, like, I already know this. Like, of course they're coming to PC. They're coming to PC.
I kind of feel the same way about the Microsoft games.
Exactly.
Gear 6, like, granted, it's not announced, but we kind of all knew it would probably be here because it makes them money.
What else does the Coalition do? I don't think they do anything.
Yeah. Avowed, which is a game that was announced, but we don't even know when it's coming out anyway, so it might have been coming on PC and they just didn't even announce it yet. So that's there. Halo 5 Guardians, which I don't care about because it's not
see, I'm more shocked that it's not on PC.
So I kind of thought the same thing 1 second ago when I read this. I don't know. So none of that stuff's cool. Now we go to Square Enix. This is where things start to get a little exciting. Chrono Cross Remaster. So that's something that we didn't hear about as far as I know.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster. That's big news. That's exciting.
What?
Yeah. Final Fantasy 7 Remake to PC. Final Fantasy 9 Remake, which is unless it's like a full remake, that's completely new.
What?
Final Fantasy 16, which I kind of figured would probably be coming to PC anyways, just unannounced. Tomb Raider Anniversary, an unannounced title, which that's not really exciting because of course they're working on something. and then Kingdom Hearts 4, which is also something that no one's ever really talked about.
I don't believe that one.
I don't know. That series makes them money. If it makes you money.
The Kingdom Hearts 4 thing in this whole thing, when I saw that, I immediately, my level of believing this leak went down like by half.
Right.
I was like, it took them, Kingdom Hearts 3 took them so long to make. And it was such like a long-standing game, so many delays and everything. And to just kind of see, like, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4 will come to PC. It was just like...
But at the same time, so I've listened to a lot of other podcasts and articles that argue about that. It's like the one thing they always sit and talk about is the Kingdom Hearts part. But my argument against it is, you know, they already have 3. Why not? They could literally, they have all the tools and set up. Making the game is not the hard part. It's putting the tools together, getting it ready for the system. Like, it might just be a PS4-looking game a little bit. I don't know. It could be anything, or it could be completely fake.
No, you're right.
I don't know. I still feel like it's possible. It's not something that's completely absurd that I would be like, no.
They did release the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 recently. So in terms of the actual game, Kingdom Hearts 3...
I can't hear you again, Zai. You gotta speak up a little bit more.
Sorry. So in terms of the actual game, Kingdom Hearts 3 is over. Like the last piece of DLC released.
Yeah.
The last bit of story happened.
Yeah, but that story, they could do anything. They could be like, oh, all of a sudden now so and so. The ending of
it was left open. It was like
I don't even remember the ending.
Yeah, like the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1, how it was like everyone's on the beach and how did that happen? Kind of got the same vibe, but I don't feel it'll be like Kingdom Hearts 4. I feel like it'll be kind of something new.
It could just be a placeholder name too. It could be.
Yeah.
Then Capcom, they got Resident Evil 4 Remake, which kind of sort of knew about it because they have a VR version of it. So I don't know if that has to do with it. But that was only coming to Quest too, not for PC.
And there was that I don't think we covered this because I think we were during our hiatus, but I think there was Resident Evil 4 leaked in the Capcom leak, which was a few months ago, which was like that. Well, it was basically that they had a bunch of their internal data stolen and posted online because they refused to pay a ransom. And Resident Evil 4 Remake was in there. So Resident Evil 4 Remake we know of. It's not...
Yeah, but even without that, it's not surprising. Like, they've been doing remakes now for a while, and they make money on them, and it's easy because they don't have to design a story. They already have
I'd love to see a remake of the original Devil May Cry series. That would be nice.
I don't know if I can find it in time. Here it is. So this is my favorite thing about Resident Evil 4, is I have it on a lot of systems, but I have it only, I don't know if it shows on camera, only for GameCube. When this game came out, it was a GameCube exclusive. Now it's on everything. Yep. Absolutely everything.
I'm excited for the VR remake of that. Okay, Capcom, they have Street Fighter 6. I don't care about that. I don't know if it's important to you guys. Dragon's Dogma 2, which I kind of been a little bit interested in because the first one was pretty good. And Monster Hunter 6, which I assume that's coming anyways because they make lots of money on those games. Then we'll kind of cut through the rest of these because there's nothing that's... Well, there's a couple that are crazy. Take-Two, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters. I don't know if they're going to be like big-ass remasters or, hey, you can run it in 1080p 4K type of remaster.
Those are supposed to... Oh, sorry, the GTA remasters, because they leaked somewhere else also, and they're supposed to come out next month. Like, the leak was that they're coming out this October, and we still haven't heard anything about them.
Yeah, that's probably getting pushed if it's coming out, because everything else just keeps coming out and getting pushed.
I want to say... Oh.
Nope, go on.
I think the Grand Theft Auto related to this. Is it shocking or not surprising that GTA 6 isn't on the list?
It's not, and
isn't that funny? Yeah, I guess, eh?
It's just suppressing. Like, they used to come out with GTA games like every year, every other year, and then all of a sudden it's been a decade.
5 just got delayed on next gen. Like, 5 is, 10 years old? It came out on... I don't remember exactly when it came out.
2012?
Yeah, and now they're like, we can't get it out on time on PS5 and Series X.
Ugh,
it's so weird that game is... That and Skyrim, they'll just live forever.
Stupid.
So, actually, I had done an article for Dragon's Dogma recently, and I was talking to some of the people who commented on the article, and we were talking about a sequel to Dragon's Dogma. And one of the big threads about that was that Devil May Cry 5, there was a pitch between the two of those games, a sequel to Devil May Cry 4, like a proper sequel, or Dragon's Dogma 2, and they did Devil May Cry, of course, Devil May Cry 5, which was an incredible game. And now that, Devil May Cry 5 is kind of done and it's mostly all over, I'm really hoping Capcom will deliver on a Dragon's Dogma 2. I feel like it would be a great time. You know what? There haven't been that many like RPGs lately. I find like even though it's a JRPG, Dragon's Dogma is built on WRPG like fundamentals, or at least aesthetics. Elden Ring is coming out soon, which I'm really hyped for. But I would love to see a Dragon's Dogma 2. If that leak is correct, in at least that game, I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, I sure hope so, because I really like the first one. Pretty fun. Okay, then there's a Bioshock Rtx Remaster, so ray tracing remaster of the original Bioshock, which is possible.
Deserved it. Deserves it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's out of nowhere.
Yeah. Bioshock 1 had an incredible atmosphere, and for better ray tracing on some of like the water surfaces and the glass and the environment,
it's a pretty game.
I think that's a perfect game to have remastered, or RTX remastered, in all honesty.
Agreed. They also have listed Bioshock 2022, which no one knows what that means.
It had, but 2K or whoever makes Bioshock did announce that they were working on a new Bioshock game. I just don't think we had known the year before. But yeah, that's
accurate?
not.
I wonder if it has what's his name working.
What else are they working on?
I don't know.
Apparently, I don't know who the developer is, but what else are they doing?
Apparently,
should
nothing.
get it out.
Should. And then the rest are all kind of nothing that exciting.
Really? There's one that really jumped out to me that I thought was going to be the big thing. We'd be like, what the hell?
Which one's that? I'm looking through them all. Mirror's Edge Remaster, Titanfall 3.
Bayonetta 3.
Maybe. I don't
Bayonetta
see
3.
that one. Where's that?
Oh, I don't know if we're looking at the same list, but under
Sega.
Sega.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. So Bayonetta 3 announced 4 years ago,
For
hasn't come out yet
Yeah.
for Switch, and now that it's like. It's not confirmed or announced this is a leak, but it's like on PC is kind of bizarre, especially because Bayonetta 2, which a lot of people kind of assume this is going to follow the same lines, was funded in part by Nintendo. And Nintendo doesn't put their games on PC. That is not their style. So for like the idea was that Bayonetta 3 was kind of going to be the same thing. It's a Switch exclusive. Nintendo paid for it. Is that still the case? Is it Platinum and Sega doing it on their own? I think it's an interesting idea that it might open up the door for Nintendo to, if Nintendo is funding part of the game, to kind of see about like, hey, can we put our games on PC? It's kind of a nice, I don't know, it's a thought experiment for me. It's like, is Nintendo funding games that will end up on PC?
That would be interesting to see for sure.
But it's also anything new on, because I've been waiting for Bayonetta 3 like since it was announced, and my beard is going gray waiting for this game. So to see anything like any hint at whether it still exists or not is kind of like,
it's got to be coming, right? It's got to be coming.
I just hope it's good. Platinum Games has been so hit or miss lately. Like what's that game they showed at E3 that everyone hated? Babylon's Fall. It looks so bad. Like Babylon's Fall looks horrible.
I don't even know what that is.
They showed it. They had announced it before, and it's basically Platinum is making. I don't want to say a Souls-like, but they're making a. It looked like they were making a Souls-like for a while, and now it's kind of changed into a what's that term everyone uses? Kind of like the Avengers, kind of this living world,
like a
live service,
yeah.
A live service, 4-player co-op dungeon crawler. Graphic, like it. I'm not like. I'm very big on retro games, so like graphics don't usually bother me. I can live with games that look bad. This game looks horrible. This game visually looks awful.
Babylon's Fall, directed by Square Enix, Wasn't it the one we were having a huge joke with? Man, it did look bad. Where they it was just so generic. It was incredibly generic looking. We have to climb the tower and defeat the evil guy. Generic. Man, it was awful.
I'm looking at pictures of it. It does not remind. I don't remember this at all. I feel like
no, they showed it at E3 this year. Like they had announced it before, but they showed it at this E3, and like Square Enix had a bad E3, and this was this made it worse.
This made it worse.
Alex, we were ripping into that game, man.
So all that to say, I kind of hope Platinum doesn't screw up Bayonetta 3 because they've been hit or miss lately. Like it's like they'll put out a good game, like Astral Chain. They'll put out a bad game. They'll put out a good game. They'll put out a bad game. So anyway, that I just wanted to shout out that Bayonetta 3 exists on this list, and that's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, there's not, unless I'm missing one. Half-Life 2 remastered, possible. That's not so bad. And there's a bunch of other random stuff. But yeah, we get the point. This could completely be false, and then in a week they say this wasn't true, and we just did all this for nothing. But it's exciting.
I saw a lot of people were salty that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is on the list, but Persona 5 isn't. Because Persona 5 still isn't on PC, and a lot of people want it there.
I want it on Switch.
So
come on. Actually, no, I don't. I think I'll be more mad
too.
Because I'm like halfway through it on my PS4. It's crazy.
But like, even if it came to PC and you got one of those new Steam Decks that come out in a few months, you could play it on the go. It's it seems to me like the perfect game.
I'm just mad I don't.
That's the kind of.
Start it all over now. That game's so freaking long. If I could transfer my save, I'd love that.
You know what I would love to play that on, because I think it's like the perfect system for it, is the Vita. That feels like a Vita game to me.
Well, it does to me because I played the 4 Golden on my Vita. That's where I played that game.
Yeah,
so
it just kind of fits,
right? That. It definitely fits that. All right, so let's move on to the next topic here. So we got one more big one before we kind of close things out a little bit and talk about some other little things. And there's not tons to say because it's kind of one big thing that we were all kind of caught off guard on. But Nintendo finally added Bluetooth audio to the Switch. You can now connect your Bluetooth headsets.
My Switch users, has that been such a big deal?
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing.
You can't before.
Here's the thing that annoys me. This drives me nuts. It didn't add Bluetooth audio to the Switch. The Switch always had Bluetooth. It's from the day it came out. It has a Bluetooth chip in it that could pick up Bluetooth. They turned on Bluetooth audio for the Switch. They flipped a switch at Nintendo HQ that was like, oh yeah, that feature that has been in here since day one. We should probably activate that at some point.
Yeah, I'm wondering why though. What is the reason? Like, was it they weren't sure how to allocate enough power to it where it would kill battery, and they were just trying to like make it perfect, or what were they doing?
I do think it has to do with the way the Switch allocates power. Like, and I'm no electrical engineer, but but when you do turn it on, you lose the ability. You can only pair 2 controllers to the Switch, so it does take up a lot of the Switch's kind of how it allocates, because the controllers pair through Bluetooth. So it allocates those. I don't want to say addresses because the technical nerds will be like, no, that's wrong. That's not how Bluetooth works. I don't know how Bluetooth works, but it does take up a serious amount of the Switch's resources to have the headset on. What drives me up the wall with this, and I was really excited with this announcement. I was like, oh, nice. I can finally use a headset like the one I'm wearing on my Switch with a microphone. I was so excited to be able to have a headset with a microphone on the Switch. No, it's just audio. It's just audio out. It's not microphones. If you want to use voice chat on the Switch, you still need to use their stupid app for the cell phone.
Gotta use the cell phone app. Gotta love that.
Yeah. I tried that app years ago, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. This is dumb. Why am I using this side app? Especially like if you're outside. Like, I know outside you probably won't have a solid enough Wi-Fi to play online. I get that. But if you were at like a place with an open Wi-Fi you connect your Switch to, so like you gotta, and like let's say you want to play a few games of Fortnite. All right, you gotta bring your Switch, your cell phone. Okay, you have those things with you, but then you need your headphone and microphone to connect to the cell phone, and you need both connected to the Wi-Fi. Like, it's so dumb. Like, why can't I just use voice chat on the Switch natively. I don't think the Switch can do it. But why not? Like, why is that not a feature? Why is it not a feature of the OLED model too that comes out in less than a month now?
The thing is the OLED model is just the same exact Switch, which is what's depressing. It's not. It's cool and exciting, but it's not anything new, which what sucks.
Right, but they could have, like, if they're tweaking, like the Switch OLED has, it has a better screen, it has that wider kickstand, it has all these nice little quality of life features. Having native support for headsets with microphones would have been a really nice little feature.
Well, here's the thing: is they don't have to. Like, it's all great and everybody wants it, but the Switch is such a unique thing that is so on its own. There's no competition really for it, and people are still going to buy it. It's not going to make... If the money they put in it and they're not going to get more money out, why bother? I mean, it sucks for all of us, but, I mean, they're still selling crazy amounts of Switches, and this thing's old, and they're probably making a crazy profit margin on it now because this is old hardware, and they don't have any reason to. They'll just hold it until... It's such an Apple approach. They don't need to add it until the next one because we're going to buy the next one anyway, so...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Like, you have a Switch OLED pre-ordered.
Yeah, I do, and I don't
I'm
even know why.
I'm calling you out.
It's
calling you out. But exactly.
It's like, I don't know why. I just quickly, as soon as the pre-orders went live, I got it, and I'm like, do I really need this? Like, what's the... I keep waiting to see reviews on it to say it's just that much better, but it's the same shit, different screen. That's really it.
Now you can be the reviewer. Yeah. You can review it. Like, I want a Switch OLED. I absolutely want a Switch OLED. I don't know why I want one, but I want one.
I don't know what to do with it.
As my first time Switch purchase, and first time really into Nintendo's lineup, I'm heavily considering the Switch OLED.
Oh yeah, if you don't have a Switch, get the OLED. Yeah. Like it is the way to get it. Don't buy the current Switch that's out today. No. Don't get that. Maybe if you want a Switch Lite, if TV play doesn't mean anything to you, sure. But no, the Switch OLED's the way to go. I was just disappointed because I was looking ahead at what's coming up to the Switch in 2022, and there's one game in there that I was like, I would love to have a nice, big, chunky, comfy headset with a mic for it, and that's Splatoon 3. Yeah. That would be great. That would love that, and they're still not giving it to me. But you know what? I'm that sucker. I'll buy Splatoon 3. I'll play it on my Switch. I'll probably get a Switch OLED at some point. So whatever, it's fine. But yeah, just disappointed. It was just kind of like it was a big deal of nothing at the end of the day. It's kind of how I see it.
It's a little sad. It's not terrible, but I don't know. I'm happy they got the Bluetooth, but I wish this was just. I almost wish it was just a feature on the new OLED to make it a reason to buy it, but I don't know.
Well, and the new OLED even has a built-in Ethernet port, which that's cool. Especially for someone like me who plays a lot of Super Smash Brothers. I'm happy that I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to go out and find that super hard to find dongle for the Ethernet or rely on the Wi-Fi, which is spotty at best. I like that feature. What I'm thinking of doing is getting a Switch OLED and making that my living room Switch that's constantly plugged in with the Ethernet, and then having my other Switch, my current Switch, basically become my streaming Switch, because I've got a little stream setup here with my old Xbox One and everything, and I can just kind of have it there. So there's use out of it. It's just kind of exciting. It's not like a Switch 2 or anything.
Yeah, which is the sad part. I feel like Nintendo's never very good with their 0.5 console releases. They're always kind of nah.
But I do have 5 3DSs, so yeah. You know what? Sure, it's great.
Would you guys, with that Bluetooth in mind, would you say the OLED Switch is the way to go if you don't have one?
Yes, 1,000%.
100%, 1,000%.
Wouldn't even consider anything else. Unless you're getting a light. If you wanted it just on the go, I'd get a light, but if you don't have anything, I would definitely get the OLED Switch.
The OLED comes out on October 8th. That's around the corner.
Yeah. If
you don't have a Switch, Zaya, I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to everyone else. If you don't have a Switch, October 8th is the day to get a Switch, because you get the OLED Switch and Metroid Dread comes out.
Yep.
Metroid Dread looks chef's kiss, amazing. So
I was watching some trailers and watching some.
There's a lot of trailers for it.
Ooh, baby.
It's every week Nintendo puts out 2 trailers for Metroid Dread. I've stopped watching them because I want surprises, but I'm really excited for Metroid Dread.
And Samus is my favorite flagship Nintendo character.
That's impressive to say because I don't think Nintendo considers Metroid a flagship franchise most of the time.
No.
So
when I equate Nintendo, I know you would think of like Smash Bros. Or some people would think of like Zelda, or maybe some.
Well, above Metroid in Nintendo's, this is my impression of it. I would definitely say Mario is above Zelda, Pokemon, or above Metroid. Sorry, Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, Kirby. You got tons of Kirby games. Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem. I would almost no. I know I talk about Xenoblade a lot. I think Nintendo today cares more about Xenoblade than they do about Metroid.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
So it's like Metroid hasn't had a brand. This is the first new mainline Metroid game since 2001. Fusion was the last one. Well, okay, so it's a bit complicated because there's two timelines of Metroid. There's the mainline Metroid games, which is 1, 2, Super Metroid, Fusion, and now Dread. And then there's the Prime games, which are 1, 2, 3, and now 4 in the future. So Metroid Prime 3 came out in 2007. And then there was Metroid Other M, which is no, it's a Wii game, but it's kind of a retelling of Super Metroid. It's not. I don't know if Other M is canon. Basically, where does it fall in line? But anyway, this is the first new. In the first trailer, they're like, "This is Metroid 5. This is the next Metroid game for like the main story." And Metroid Fusion was the last one before that. That was on the Game Boy Advance in 2001. So it's been a while. Also, why can't I play Metroid Fusion on the Switch? That's dumb.
That is kind of dumb.
I don't like. Nintendo has such a weird way with their classic games.
They're supposed to be getting better, so we can hold out and hopefully in a couple weeks we can talk about that, saying, "Hey, it's all good now," and there's tons of offerings. But as of right now, it's baloney.
Yeah, well, everyone is saying it's either going to be Game Boy, like OG Game Boy, like black and green Game Boy, and Game Boy Color, or N64. I want Game Boy Advance. I want Game Boy Advance personally, because you got Metroid, you got
Advance.
Metroid Fusion, you got Metroid Zero Mission, the remake of 1. You got 2 Fire Emblem games, 2 Advance Wars games, 2 Golden Sun games, Minish Cap for Zelda, all the Mario Advance games, which are really good. Game 64 is like, these games are hard to go back to. The 64 is old. It feels old.
Well, it's weird, and the controls were weird. Like, they had weird controllers. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to translate that well, because they're just weird. But, all right, well, we have one more topic we're going to talk about a year into new consoles. Let's push it to next week, and then we'll just wrap up the show talking about some... Idea, what's that? I'm sorry, you're quiet again.
To push it to next week. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because I do want to talk about that. But since we're kind of already talking about games upcoming, talking about Metroid Dread, let's just wrap up by talking some of the big releases that are coming up. Since we've listed all the games that started the year off, the games we've missed, I have a list of like games that are coming out. And I don't know if you guys want to just start speaking of stuff that's still coming out towards the end of the year. We got 3.5 months left of big stuff. I know this month we got quite a few things like Diablo 2 Resurrected is still coming out. What else was this month? There was something else. Oh, Lost Judgment is coming out. I think that comes out next week, which is like the sequel to the spin-off series of Yakuza.
Yakuza games, yeah.
Then we've got, jumping into October, there's quite a bit of stuff coming out then.
Back 4 Blood.
Oops, I just lost it. Where's October? October. Oh, this is all still September.
Game Pass.
There's still a lot more in September. Oh, this is Q3. The Alan Wake Remastered is coming. That's pretty big news. No, we lost Alex.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
Is he?
Yep.
The tab to get the list. Did I close this tab?
Oh, you're fine.
My bad.
Far Cry 6 is probably one of the bigger games coming out still that got pushed. I'm looking forward to that. NHL 22. I'm a little bit bummed about that game, actually, because...
The Leafs suck!
Well, there's that. And then the fact that it's a $70 game on PS5, and it still doesn't have crossplay. So I'm a little like...
Yeah, that's bumming.
I'm like, what are we doing? Because I have friends that play on Xbox and friends that play on PlayStation, but the PlayStation, or no, I think the Xbox version, I think you can get it for Xbox, and it's a free upgrade, I think is what it is. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, because I looked at it the other day.
EA games are on Game Pass, though.
Well, this one, but does this one come out right away at the top of it, or do I have to wait?
I don't know, man.
I don't think
I'm just saying, I'm just saying get it on Xbox. I'm going to get it on Xbox.
I'm probably going to get it on Xbox, too, and I always play it for a little bit, and I'm kind of sad if I didn't. Metroid Dread, that we talked about already, comes out in 2 weeks.
Right.
Back 4 Blood's coming out in a couple weeks. That game's been talked about a lot. People really liked the beta period. The Demon Slayer game is coming out. I don't know if anybody watched Demon Slayer, but I'm pretty pumped for that game.
Good, actually. No, I'm not gonna lie.
I
don't like anime.
I liked the show, and I'm excited for that. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxies. This was like a pop-up game from.
I'm excited for that. I'm driving that. I feel it.
Yeah, I'm.
It looks quality. It looks quality. It looks like the kind of game that you're like, oh, this is AAA. This is like as good as it gets right now. So. Looks fun.
Let's see. Oops,
Halo Infinite.
Damn, our stream is all screwed up now. I don't know what happened.
I think when I dropped off, I may have screwed up.
Let me see if I can fix it really quick. I'm hoping the audio's at least staying because we're almost in anyways.
Halo
yeah,
Infinite.
I just checked the audio. It's fine.
Okay, let me just swap it here.
Ending on a high note, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. It's entirely my fault too. I was scrambling to get the list of like the 2021 games, and I closed my Discord tab. So.
It's all right. I got mine's working. So, yeah, that's kind of the big ones. Halo. Yep, that's another one that's coming. Hopefully that doesn't get delayed.
There's the Pokemon remake.
Oh yeah, why is that not on here? Oh, because I'm in the wrong month. Age of Empires 4. That one I'm pretty excited for.
Yep.
Hang on, if I can scroll down to November. Here we go.
Shin Megami Tensei 5, which looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm unsure about that game, but I'm sure it'll do well.
Shin Megami Tensei. Oh, I was just gonna say real quick. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is kind of gonna ride Persona 5's coattails for a bit. I think people are like, Atlas RPGs. Oh, so hot right now. And yeah, I think SMT5 is gonna do really well.
For sure. And then Battlefield 2042, which got delayed to November. That's coming out. And then December, I don't know what else is coming out except for Halo. I haven't really looked at this month.
There is...
Big Brain Academy. That game's coming out on Switch. Those games are always pretty fun.
There's Advance Wars Remake.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
That's so friggin' cool.
They don't have a image for that game, which is weird. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX is coming out. Those were fun games. Yeah. Spellforce 3 Remastered. That's coming out. Not that I know anything about that, but I see it listed. Yeah, that kind of sums up the year. And then there's a few... Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I actually pre-ordered that game, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Guys, I'm curious enough. Like, I've played enough Smash Bros. To be like, I'm intrigued by you, Nickelodeon.
I'm definitely intrigued by
All-Stars Brawl.
If I can play as Aang, I'm in. So that's what I saw.
I think you can. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that kind of wraps up the rest of the year, and I think that'll do it for us here. I'm sure there's tons more we could go on and on about, but as the show slowly unravels itself, technically with my picture now twice on screen and Zahi frozen, I will let that just be that. So thank you guys. I don't know if you guys have some closing marks here.
Kevin, where can the good people find us?
You can find us on, hopefully you're watching us right now. You can see us on YouTube at Link Cable Gaming, and on Twitch, you can find us there as well. Find us also on Instagram, which I know we're probably pushing a little bit more, and Twitter. So we're all over the place. And on Facebook. Social us up.
And at linkcablegaming.com, where we post all our lovely weekly content.
You should probably go there first.
Yeah, it makes us money. But it's also, we have a lot of really fun stuff being posted up there daily. So, yeah, definitely check us out there. I think you summed it up pretty good. That's pretty much where you can find us.
Thank you for that, Kevin. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's a pleasure, gentlemen. And we're not going to do another big, long... Like, if you like this show, and I really like these Link Cable Gaming guys, I hope they don't take another 3 months off. We won't. We'll be back next week with another show. kind of keep to a regular schedule. So yeah, look forward to more of our pretty faces in the next little bit.
And Kevin's luscious hair.
Oh yeah. We'll see. It's just washed. It looks like nice now until like later it gets all poofy.
But we'll do an entire episode based on hair, like just kind of like our personal like hair. Like you guys can do your heads of hair. I'll do the beard management tips and tricks. Yeah. Linkable Gaming, all about beauty tips.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
See you later.
Bye now.